What's up, everybody? Welcome to the YSN Power Hour, proudly powered by our friends. Let's get up that sponsorship, pay some bills up at Toyota of Warren. Our friends up at Toyota of Warren, we thank you so much for allowing us to bring this Power Hour to you. Well, I'd like to say each and every day, but it's been pretty sporadic lately. Let's be honest. We got a great show for you today. A lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Yesterday on the show, we talked about a lot of things, primarily the division rankings, kind of where the good teams moving up, the good teams moving down, where we think the challenges are going to be, where we think the strengths are going to be, and kind of flushing that whole system out. And didn't get very far. I'm not going to lie to you. We didn't get very far just from the sense of there was a lot to talk about. Logan Bell joined us on the program yesterday, talked about winning the Medal of Honor Award at Bowling Green State University. I believe he's the first to do it from the YSN family. Certainly in the YSN era from the YSN schools. I don't know if he's the first ever from the pre-YSN era, but congratulations to him nonetheless. Once again, Logan Bell. Today, we're going to do a little bit more of. It's probably going to be a little bit more like running point from that situation from a 50,000-foot view. We're going to talk about what's on the agenda for tonight, because there is a weird, like, is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain? Is it going to storm? Is it not going to storm? We've already kind of told the guys, hey, easy. Okay. If the rain comes, shut her down. That's all you can do. But we're going to give it a go. We've got a lot of games we're looking at tonight. Let's give you a look at the, as a matter of fact, why don't we pull this up on the, see if it's been a minute since I've done this. Present. We can share the screen and we can go, let's go live games here. We'll show you exactly what we're looking at. All right. So here you see the live games starting at 4:30, literally right after we end this broadcast. We got Geneva at Edgewood baseball for you. I think that's Larry that's got it up in Edgewood, up at the old 440. Then at 5 o'clock, we've got Cardinal Mooney at Salem baseball. No, this is from yesterday. This is yesterday's. What are we doing? What are we doing? Get this out of here. That's just bad. Just bad look on our part. It's a bad look on our part. I didn't even show it, so that's even worse. I'm off to a rousing start today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on fire. You didn't see any of that. So I can make a text message, Brian Scott, if you're out there. It's time to update the page because it's 3 o'clock and nobody knows what the hell is going to be on YSN at this point. I don't see if I can find. Do I even have the backdoor schedule, so to speak? Do I even have access to that? I don't think I do. Let me see if I have that. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm getting locked out of everything. This is welcome to a beautiful Tuesday here on YSN. I know for a fact, a hard fact, that I am going to South Range where they will be taking on Boardman. Going to be able to handle that. Love this game. I've wanted this game all season long. Looking forward to it. Get to announce the Raiders. Get to announce the Spartans. A lot of familiar names and two teams that are looking to bounce back. I know the Raiders, tough loss to Ursuline last night. They're looking to get back in the swing of things, especially with the NE8 being as turbulent as it is in the baseball side of things. The Raiders looking to get back in the thick of all of it in that race. You've got Hubbard right now. To me, you've also have. Well, I think I hate to even do this because I feel like I'm going to fall flat on my face again. As we check in on the comments, Randy Riccatelli saying, "Who has the McDonald 10U season opener?" Hey, we are for hire. We are mercenaries of the broadcasting profession for hire. So if you need some McDonald 10U covered, we got your back as long as you've got the check. Scotty Red Star saying Boardman South Range today. LOL. Yeah, I'll be there. You know I'll be there. And the celebration begins. That usually means that Scott's going to stand by me the entire game and get quasi on YSN. Like, we've never had the formal, like, here's the headset. That moment might come tonight. It might come tonight. I might hook up the second headset, say, Scotty, if you're going to stand here, you've got to announce. You've got to be my color commentator. So things could get interesting. Could get interesting, especially if Colin's on the bump. If he's on the bump, yeah, we're rolling with it. Yeah, you think it's hilarious now. You think it's hilarious until I set it up and we're ready and we're talking about all the yesteryears of the Boardman State Championship. Laugh it up, Fuzzball. Laugh it up. The fun times are yet to come. Until about 4:45, you won't be laughing, I promise. Yeah, so back to what's going on tonight, as I don't know right now because I'm flying blind, but I can tell you the standings, I think, as we look to, please God, the standings brought to you by RL Craig. Let's take a look at the baseball standings right now. Austintown Fitch, 12-5 overall. And again, ladies and gentlemen, they've played 17 games. Why? Why has Austintown Fitch played 17 games? Oh, because they've got one of the most beautiful fields in the entire area covered in turf, and they can play at the drop of a hat. And they lead the AAC with a 5-1 overall record. Canfield 4-1 with a 5-1 conference record, 4-1 conference record for Canfield. 3-3 for Howland after a tough loss last night. Then you've got Boardman at 2-5, and then 1-5 Warren Harding. Let's check out where do we want to go? We want to go to NE8. So let's go this way. There's the NE8, and I'm going to be honest. Looking at this now, yeah, there's a shakeup. So right now, Poland, it says they are 12-1 overall. That needs to be changed. They're now 12-2 overall. 9-2 in the conference. Hubbard is now 7-2 in the conference. South Range now 5-5. So they've got some work to do to get back in the thick of things in the conference. And you don't want to say it's too late, but you look at what they have left, and they're going to need to win out essentially to have a share of the title. And my math's not great, right? But you got to win those games. And I know it's a non-conference, but you got to be able to win these games. You drop. I guess they're 5-4 in the conference. My apologies. Ursuline's not a conference foe, but they dropped to 10-6 on the year. When you look at what South Range has to do, they're going to have to win out. I mean, dropping 4 games in conference, games that were, I think they split with Poland, gave Poland their first loss of the season. That's a big win, but they're going to have to win those games they're expected to win, and then probably win a couple that they're not, if that makes sense. Hubbard, to me, Hubbard has been, I don't want to say the surprise of the season because they've got some uber talent on that team, but somehow they stayed under the radar and are shocking the rest of the world. So kudos to them. I also think, Girard is a team that you do not want to play. You do not want to play come tournament time, because even though they're 3-5 in the conference, 7-9 overall, and again, I know these are yesterday's, these are teams, and Girard especially is a team that's not afraid to play anybody on any given day. I cannot wait. No Colin today. Maybe going, the King might be on the bump. All right. So that'll be interesting to see what Boardman comes out with. But yeah, back to Squirrel, right? Back to the conversation. I mean, the NE8, really Poland's to lose at this point, but Hubbard is going to give them a run from their money. Another loss, when you look at that, another loss could be detrimental. Could be detrimental and could give Hubbard, essentially, if they win out, a share of the conference crown, which would be incredible given how unstoppable Poland looked earlier on this season. And they've obviously we know they've lost a little bit of their juju with some injuries. We're thinking of the guys that are out. I hate acknowledging injuries. I hate it. But it's tough, man. It's tough when you start losing guys with arm injuries and other. It's a tough break because pitching in baseball is something that you cannot make up. You're not just going to start plucking outfielders onto the pitcher's mound, and say, "Hey, why don't you go out and do a job for us?" It doesn't in Little League, maybe. In high school, very rarely. So Hubbard's just going to have to keep paddling, keep pushing down that river and hope and pray that they're able to find some guys and get some great work out of their bullpen or out of their starters. Because a heavy loss for them late in the year that stings, and it's the cracks are starting to show. And if you're Poland, you still have all the talent in the world, but I think there's a little bit of, you look around and you're like, okay, we got to find that belief again. We got to find that rallying point, and a win over Hubbard today certainly would serve as that. But vice versa, you look at Hubbard, if they can get a sweep of the conference leading Poland Bulldogs, what does that do for their confidence? What does that do for them trying to put and lay stake and claim to the conference that has always seemingly eluded them? This could be a huge year for Hubbard baseball. Huge, huge year for Hubbard baseball. We will find out tonight. That's a big game. That is a big, big game. We're going to find out all about it. You can read it all about it. ysnlive.com. We had, guys and gals, we had 40 stories this morning. Fresh, crisp, new, ready to go. Yours truly, Anthony Hartwig. We were up until all hours of the night and very early into the morning. Whew. I'm not built for that anymore. Not built for that. I'm back in the minors when it comes to that stuff. But you call on the old righty one time, baby. You call on the righty one time, and I'm ready to go. I'll come out of the pen, and I'll sling some pearls, and that's what happened last night. You wake up this morning, we had 39 when I went to bed, and when we added the 40th this morning when we got the final stats from Austintown Fitch and their win over Howland for softball, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more proud. Couldn't be more proud of the effort that we put in, because listen, we understand we are a skeleton crew when it comes to, what we do and how we broadcast games in the spring, and we're relying on weather and electricity and people not wanting to go golfing and things of that nature, right? The regular stuff. Like, it's a whole lot easier to tell your part-time gig, hey, I'm not going to go today. I'm going to go out on the links and hit this little white ball around and try to drain it down a sinkhole. I get it. I understand it. I want to do the same thing. But the reality is we don't. Reality is, we're out there busting it, and then Anthony and I spinning around, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's 2:45 in the morning. You got 39 stories from baseball and softball ready to go, highlighting all the great players that had played that particular evening, whether they win or they lose. If they put some stats on the paper that stands out, we try to make sure that we highlight them, and that's exactly what we did last night. Couldn't be more proud. Broke a record again last night with 39 stories, and the 40th story going up before noon today. It was a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. You don't get that anywhere else, and I'm talking anywhere else in the state. Not TV, not radio, not print, not digital, just us. That's it. Sam Torres, Anthony Hartwig, yours truly, boom, captivated the audiences this morning. Lots of love coming in, and we appreciate every bit of it, and we thank you so much. 40 stories for you to read. Think about that. I'm not even sure that there's 40 stories when you open up a newspaper from front to back, unless it's maybe the Sunday paper. And we all know kind of the situation that's going on there, right? It's all there. 40 stories for you, and it's all with love, made with love. And we thank you so much for investing in us and our sponsors for being able to do that. The advertisers, and especially the people that click on our site so many times per day, just for content information. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sam says YSN is the home for area sports. I love it. And then Ryan Reese, the best 3/4, 3 for 4 and 4 stolen bases. I love it. Yes, you want to use this as a platform? Please do. Please do. On the way to Canton Central Catholic, go Cards. Go Cards indeed. Tough one. Oh, heartbreaker for the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals last night. I was in the booth with Derek Rhodes, and that is a little rivalry that never gets mentioned. And it's Salem and it's Cardinal Mooney. It's a friendly rivalry. These two teams always play each other close. Always play each other close. To me, it's really interesting because just like in a regular rivalry, you can throw out all of the records. You can throw out if a kid's batting 100 or a kid's batting 1,000, you can throw that right out the window because we saw action last night from the jump. We saw small ball in play. We saw big ball in play. We saw hit and runs. I mean, it was baseball the way it was meant to be played. And yes, Cade going 3 for 4 with 4 stolen bags. Pretty sure I mentioned on the broadcast, I thought he was going to steal his way around at one point. Stole second, stole third, and just got hung out to dry. One of the issues that you see in today's baseball that we talked a little bit on the broadcast last night, I see, and I might, and listen, my eyes aren't very great, right? But what I've been able to kind of pinpoint as a weakness for a lot of pitchers in today's game in high school is that a lot of them do not want to work the ball inside. And what that does is that helps out the hitters. It helps out the hitters. It helps out the umpires. Pitchers have to pitch, and they've got to pitch inside. I said it last night in jest. Pitchers are either A, usually too dumb, or B, too crazy to live in fear. Those are the best pitchers. And I mean, with all of the best love and intentions, too dumb or too crazy to not, or to be scared and to not throw inside. But what it does is if the hitter knows, and there's tape out there, obviously we're part of that problem. But if the hitter knows that all the pitcher wants to do is work outside, that changes the entire at bat for them. And it actually cuts their workload in half because you're typically not going to study a pitcher that works the ball right down the middle. The plate is always cut in thirds. Or I guess technically, if you get to the college level, it's cut in quarters. Middle in, middle out, out, and in. Okay? So in high school, typically we use the red, the white, and the blue. So for inside, it's on a right-handed hitter, it's red. Right down the middle, it's white. On the outside, it's blue. Just pretend you stripe a plate, just like you paint it. One color, another color, and you got 3 colors. Okay? If you're not working the red on a right-handed hitter, if you're not working the inside, the benefits for that hitter is the eye level, the zone for them on a hitter. If you're just sitting there And those of you who don't know the game, listen real closely on this. If you're sitting there and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, all of a sudden, you don't have to worry about the red zone. You probably shouldn't be worrying about the white zone either, because it's if it's a meatball right down Broadway, see ya, right? You're going to stroke that like no other. All you're worried about is the blue zone. If all you have to worry about is a third of that plate, and if it misses, it's probably a ball or it's a mistake. It's either going to be ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, or it's going to be ball goes over the fence, right? If all you're concentrating is on a third of the plate, your job is you can kick your feet up, essentially. And your focus is locked in, you're dialed in, because you're only worried about the ball coming from that person's hand to this zone right here. That's it. And in today's game, the point I'm trying to get to is most pitchers outside, 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 outside. Hitters they're trained, okay? One pitch, one spot. If it's inside, I'm not going to swing. But they're not coming inside. They're not going. It's a free strike if you throw the ball in the inner portion of the plate. We didn't see that. I haven't really seen that all year. You've got to work the inside. Catchers, I know a lot of catchers, they're nervous to throw the ball, to have the ball thrown inside. They don't want to work kind of in the trenches, right? Work the belt buckle from that scenario. You don't want to catch ball here. You know what I mean? It's a different game. It is. And I don't want to say that the game's passed me by, but I think we've lost an element of the game. And that's not necessarily buzzing the tower, but let's go inside. Let's live. Let's work on the inside. Let's use every inch, every centimeter of that plate instead of just focusing outside. And the problem that I saw is it's not just right-handed hitters. It's not just, okay, we know we can throw a strike here on the outside of the zone if we want to. It's we're going to do it on the other side too. If a lefty comes up, we're working the red portion of the plate. And that's great until you get a hitter that loves outside contact and drive it the other way, and then you're in trouble. Or your walks are going to go up significantly. That's just, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I know there's a lot of people that watch a lot of baseball. Scott Retzlaff being one of those guys, Ryan Reese being another one of those guys, and they're watching this game. But I said it on the broadcast last night, and I saw everybody in the entire press box nodding their head. And that includes two guys that were D1 or still are D1 playing for Youngstown State. Gavin Wilms, Lane Rhodes sitting there going, yeah, nobody wants to throw inside anymore at the high school level. They're nervous. They're almost trained. We're going to work outside, outside, outside. And if that's a coach's philosophy, that's great. That's on you, but you're losing if you're working just outside, you're losing 12 inches of that plate, which is terrifying. Because the opposition at some point, especially when you go to play better teams, you can get away with it with some teams. When you play better teams as you progress in the OHSAA tournament, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Right? You're gonna get stroked in the right field and left field. They're just gonna do that. That's how it's gonna work. Because you're gonna face better competition. And they're not going to worry so much necessarily about what you're trying to do. What you're trying, they know what they're doing. They're not worried about what you're doing. They see ball, they hit ball. And any good pitcher will tell you that. Gavin Wilms said, hey, it's a little bit different in college baseball because the 9-hitter can hit the ball just as far as the cleanup hitter. And that's the difference. When you move up a level and you go from, the sectionals to the districts, it gets a little tighter, gets a little better. Then districts to regionals. Gets a little tighter, gets a little better. And you get to the states, can't make mistakes. That's why when I think about this, when I look at this, the guys that are constantly in the districts, the regionals, the states, those championship games, they learn how to play baseball. They learn how to play sports a little bit better. Not, yes, the experience, but also because the minimal mistakes that you can make during a game. Same with girls. It's the same way. You learn that there's only this much wiggle room. And then you get to states and there's this much wiggle room. You might be only able to make one bad play. That's not even considered an error. Right? The days of 5 errors in the districts are gone. The days of pitching it outside and just using the outside for a pitcher and a catcher are over once you get to a certain point. And we're sitting here, 2 weeks away from the state tournament starting, and we still have not seen progressiveness on utilizing the inside of the plate for most pitchers. If you're a pitcher, you're out there, you're listening, you're a parent, you're listening, work the inside more. It will do nothing but benefit you moving forward. You're going to miss sometimes, and you're going to miss over the heart of the plate. Mistakes happen. The pros do it too. But you've got to use what I think the plate's 17 inches. Okay, you've got to use 17 inches of that plate and extend the plate out a little bit. That's the other thing. If you're working that outside, if you're utilizing that, the zone gets a little tighter, you're going to have to throw it inside. You're more apt to miss when you're moving back inside. You're not going to miss. If you're afraid to throw it in, you're going to miss it over the heart of the plate. Then you've got issues, right? I'd rather them miss with the whatever the handle of the bat than the barrel. Trust me on that. Ball goes a lot less far. Travels way less off the handle than it does off the barrel. I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure that's science. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more talk about local sports here. I'm going to see if we can get the standings update. In the meantime, thanks for watching YSN, and we are powered, obviously, by our friends at Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN. We love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name is Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
Thank you, Anthony. Welcome back to the YSN Power Hour, powered by our friends at Toyota of Warren. DJ Yoakley with you, getting down off my off my soapbox, talking about working the ball outside. And softball, it's crazy. I don't see nearly as much trepidation. Is that a 6-point word in Scrabble? In working the ball inside. Pitchers, but they're so, dude, when you're talking about softball, you're talking about an unbelievable amount. Like, they have a utility belt full of pitches that are defying physics. When you talk about a rise ball, I still don't understand how that is possible. So when you're talking baseballs I mean, you're coming off a hill, so it's naturally going to go down anyway. So if it rose, you burn that person at the stake because they're a witch or a wizard, whatever you want to call it. They're done. We're taking them right to the stake. But when you're talking about a flat surface and a rise ball, that is, it's not unhittable because we've seen it's been hit. But man, that you screwball, you've got, I don't even know the terminology. Anthony, I'm not even going to try because Anthony would jump on here and just steal my lunch and all the thunder too, and make me feel like I was a nobody when it comes to softball. But we've seen changeups and knuckleballs, and I mean it's crazy what you can do with a softball nowadays, and what these teachers, these pitching professionals have taught these young ladies all the way up, because there's no stress on their arm. So it's not like when you're growing up and you're waiting to be 12 years old, because then you could throw a curveball, right? Oh, I could drop a deuce, an Uncle Charlie, throw a chair, all that stuff. You're excited about it. And then there's like little girls learning how to pitch underhand fast pitch, and they're able to throw 35 pitches. They're literally like Batman, and they can just pull pitches out of their utility belt and chuck them. And it's like watching magic. It really is. It really is. But they can live and die on the inside. They can live and die essentially in the middle of the plate if they want to make that pitch look enticing, because it's moving all over the place. You don't know which way it's going to go. Baseball, you can defy some physics, but usually it's going to be one or two, really three places, right? It's going to be middle, it's going to be inside, it's going to be outside. Could have some drop on it, could have some slide on it, could be running in on you, whatever, running away from you. I get it. But never does it go up. Never does it go up unless you're some kind of freak like submarine pitcher. That ball, I guess, could come up at you, but those are few and far between. Those guys don't last long because of what they do to their arms. Let's get to some comments here. Oh, Davey Balstrino. Hey, thanks, buddy. Nice sweater, my friend. Hey, you know what? I'm going to give a shout out real quick. This guy goes, nobody remembers JT Miller around here. Probably, arguably, one of the best athletes to come, without a doubt, from East Palestine, but perhaps from this area. And he gets zero love here locally because he plays hockey. Dude starts out with and that's what happens. You try to fight the man, you try to give some love to an EP guy, and they censor you. They knock you out of the StreamYard broadcast. I see how it works. I see it. I've seen behind the curtain. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. I'm looking at you, JB. I know what's going on. We're not intimidated. Maybe a little bit. No, but for me, you look at what JT Miller has been able to do from East Palestine. The kid was an unbelievable athlete. Could hit the baseball like nobody ever. I mean, imagine whatever stupid number of miles per hour he puts on a slap shot and bends his twig, completely backwards, to snap it on net to get a goal. Imagine what he can do when he hits a baseball. Imagine what he can do when I've seen it. I've seen pitchers try to skip it to him and he still hits it. Kid's a freak athlete. These NHL dudes, I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'm not afraid to say it. These dudes are the best athletes in the world. They are. NHL players are the best athletes. A lot of times, hockey players in general, best athletes, best hand-eye coordination, most agile, best. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason, endurance-wise, that they can only play like 80 seconds at a time, and that's like a heavy burden. That's a shift, 80 seconds. So, Davey Balestrino, I'm giving you a lot of love. Here's your flowers, buddy. Take them. Take them. Hockey players, the best. The best athletes. I'm going to say it. JT Miller deserves his flowers. The Canucks are up 3-1 in the series. If you're looking for something to do late night tonight, I'll have it on. I'll be writing stories. 10 o'clock, they will be playing. You'll be able to see the pride of East Palestine, JT Miller, on the ice tonight, trying to close out the series, get to the next one. Bring the Lordo home. Bring the Lordo to East Palestine, baby. It's been a year. It's been a year. Bring Lordo to EP. That's all I'm saying. Bring it home. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if JT wins the Stanley Cup and brings Lord Stanley back to East Palestine? Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. I can't even, you can't even dream that up. Just in my mind, right by, and if you've ever been to East Palestine, picture this with me. This is what we're looking at. Downtown East Palestine, between Huntington Bank, Circle K, the Marathon, and the train tracks. You've got JT Miller in a pickup truck with Lordo and the dude walking behind him with the white gloves that's in charge of making sure nothing happens to Lord Stanley, walking behind him right down, what is that, Market Street in East Palestine? I can see it. I can see it in my brain. And JT doing one of these the whole way for all 4,700 East Palestinians who have been through turmoil. JT puts the town on his back. Just get that's dream come true. We wish JT Miller, from everybody here at YSN, we wish you. We didn't forget about you, buddy. We're sporting your gear. I got the JT Miller 9 jersey. I got my JT Miller Rangers shirt still in the wardrobe. There's no doubt. I will always support local athletes. There's no doubt. But man, is it gratifying to see them succeed like no other. That's why when we talk about a young man who started in Salem, now at Wyatt, or I guess technically he's probably graduated at YSU at this point. Now, little invite to San Francisco 49ers. Mitchell Davidson. Attaboy, Mitch. Attaboy, Mitch. What if Mitch Davidson becomes the next Tom Brady? It can happen. Like the kid on Angels in the Outfield. It can happen. What if he what a story for Mitch Davidson that would be. And we hope to get Mitch on the show and talk to him, because the journey that he has had is unlike any other. I mean, just trying to get seen. He goes from Salem High School. I believe he walks on at YSU, fights his way into the quarterback room. Then all of a sudden, the dude is lighting it up. He's got a t-shirt deal. He's got all this stuff with Galt heating and air conditioning. He's got, NIL. And then he gets invited to a camp with the San Francisco 49ers. How awesome. How awesome. How awesome would that be? Dave Balstrino wants to see JT Miller shotgunning beers at a Lordo. I'd be okay with that. A couple icy lights. Because that's the way to go. We're too close to the border over there. You're drinking some Pittsburgh water. Pittsburgh's very own. JT's got a little Pittsburgh in him too. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I will proudly support the Vancouver Canucks when they're not playing the Penguins. However, the rumblings of JT Miller playing for the Penguins at one point, whew, that almost turned the town on its head. Not going to lie to you. Trying to control my emotions during one of those trades and the free agency talks, and the dude scores 100 points this year. He's a stud. Absolute stud. We're proud to say he's from East Palestine. We're proud to claim him always. We didn't forget about you, buddy. Bring the Lordo home. We're rooting for you tonight. Close out the series. Close out the series. All right. I have a text message in to Mr. Scott to see if he would change the live games tab. Do we have the live games? Checking it out. Oh, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. It pays to know people. It pays to know people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can toss this up now. Present, share screen, and live games. There, share. Back here. Turn them on. Here we go. What do we got? All right, there we go. Now we're hustling. Now we're cooking with oil. All right. Live games brought to you by our friends at Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. We've got it all. Visit them on the web today, burnettpools.com. My good buddy, Will, taking care of us always. Got to see him last night and hang out with him for a bit. Thank you, Will, for supporting us forever, and always. All right, tonight, officially, 4:30, still a 4:30 start. We've got Madison at Jefferson baseball. Also at 4:30, we have Shenango at Mohawk baseball. Boardman at South Range. I wonder who's going to be there. That's baseball as well. Hoover at Louisville baseball. We've got Lakeview at Struthers stickball as well. Followed by, well, actually running at the same time, Liberty at Camel baseball. We got some softball on the network as well. Ridge and Western Reserve. Just going to go out on a limb and say that's Anthony. Just a crazy guess. At 5 o'clock, we also have Niles and Gerard. So good to see the boys. I talked about Gerard, man. Niles pretty doggone good too. It's NE8's year. I'm telling you. And then, ladies and gentlemen, do not miss this. Running at 5 o'clock. The game. Red versus Green. West Branch visiting Salem. Derek Rhodes will be on the call. Salem coming off a unbelievable win. I mean, unbelievable, emotional win last night. And you can watch them again right here on ysnlive.com. Do not miss a minute. Do not miss an inning. Do not miss a beat here on the network. It is time to wrap things up as I head out the door. So you know what it is time for? It is time for our friends at Joe Dickey Electric to give you their spark right here on YSN. Okay, everything's broken today. Oh, it's all broken. What's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them today at DickeyElectric.com. Okay, that's my spark. Everything's broken. Everything is, I mean, it is slow clicking. It is, I mean, it's Tuesday. The kids didn't want to get up to go to school this morning. Like, it is a day. We're almost there, folks. For you at home who have kids that go to school, we're almost there. When you wake up tomorrow morning, it is May. For many of us, we don't have to roll that over one more time. We get through May, and it's the summer season. For those of you driving your kids to school, those of you picking them up, you're going to get a few months off. A little reprieve. a little vacation is coming. Hang on. Just hang on. And for all the broken things that are going on right now, I know this isn't the end. I know I'm going to get out to South Range. Something's going to be missing. Something's going to be broken, not charged up. It's going to happen. This is the kind of days. These are the kind of days that stuff happens. It's going to happen. I'm not going to get mad. I'm excited. I'm exhausted. Exhausted. I think I got 4 hours of sleep last night doing all those stories that I'd do it again. I would do it again because we're breaking records. We are absolutely setting new goals for ourselves every day. And that's what I encourage you to do. Keep on doing it. Keep on hustling. Keep on grinding. Keep on going. Keep on going because at the end of the day, it will be worth it. No doubt. No doubt at all. Cannot wait to go out to my game tonight and see some of the youngsters that I haven't seen in years. Oh, look at this. Denise Kurlik. Fancy seeing you here. I check YSN Live daily. I don't think you know how much we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Denise, I hope to see you tonight. TK, sounds like he might be on the bump. Might bring back some memories. Maybe bring some earbuds because you might hear a familiar voice talking about the king, Tyler Kurlik. Going to be a great game. South Range, Boardman. I'll be there. You should be too. Flip it on and keep on flipping down the dial. You'll find a good game for one of them tonight. I guarantee it. That's going to do it for our show today. Thanks to our friends here at Athletics for housing us, giving us a home. We thank you so much. Thanks to you for tuning in. Thanks to Toyota of Warren for allowing us to do this every day and letting this idiot talk and run wild. We appreciate you so much. We will see you tomorrow. Scotty Mincher joins the show. Probably going to be talking about the draft. Just a crazy guess. We'll be talking about the draft. We will see you tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on your Sports Network. YSN thanks you